what do you have to give? Holy Spirit talks to me like that. See, if you're going to be placed in front of people, what do you got to give? Because some people shut down. You get them in front of 100 people, they shut down. They don't know how, because they got insecure. They walk around trying to see if the zippers don't know them. Oh, what's wrong with me? Amen? Amen. This is David. David was insecure about himself. Verse 12. And he sent and brought him in. Now, he was ruddy. Everybody say, ruddy. In other words, he red-headed. And withal of a beautiful countenance. Everybody say he had Betty Davis eyes. Y'all know that song? Oh, yeah. All the girls think it's a style she got. Betty Davis eyes. David had Betty Davis eyes. Amen. David looked at you, man. It was over with for a woman, amen? And look, he had a goodly look to him. In other words, he wasn't ugly, man. He had some good-looking eyes. How many of y'all ladies like good-looking eyes? Well, that's David, man. David had that stare. He looked at you, it was over with. That's how I got old Jamie. I looked at her eyes. We was on Lynn Martinez's bus. She'd come over to this dial, first and second grade, and I just looked at her. We was meant to be together since elementary. We rode Lynn Martinez's bus together. Me, Jamie, Grady, Rob Paul, Lisa Spurlock, Bonnie Rivers. There, let me eyes. My eyes get you in trouble, though. This is David's weakness. Yeah. David knew he wasn't ugly. Amen? Amen. With a beautiful countenance and a goodly to look to. And the Lord said, arise, anoint him, for this is he. David was 17 years old. He was the youngest, but he was the outcast. He was the illegitimate one. He was the one that didn't fit in. He was the one that nobody cared about. Everybody looked over. I mean, his daddy thought so much of him that he didn't even choose to bring him in the house. He didn't even tell him nothing about it. How many of y'all feel left out? Yeah. You feel your family functions and you know, and my mom was here, and you know, and I will not say this, but I am. Amen. I mean, we have a family function, and Bubba get mad because he wouldn't call. Well, why was I called? You know why? You know, you can't please everybody. That's right. People have insecurities about themselves. Amen. You know, why would I invite it? What? You didn't want, what? You don't like me? You don't want me here, or what? You know? Why don't you call me? Why don't you send me a text? Or blah, blah, blah. Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him in the midst of his brethren, and the Spirit of the Lord came upon David from that day forward. So Samuel rose up and went to... All right, notice verse 7. Let's look at verse 7. Notice verse 7, will you? But the Lord said unto Samuel, look not in his countenance or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord seeth not as a man seeth, for man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart. In other words, God chose a person that nobody thought of. Nobody would have expected David. Nobody didn't even realize that David existed, amen. God picks the outcast, amen. God picks the person that wouldn't ordinarily fit in, amen. God picks the foolish things of this world to despise the wise, amen. Everybody would say, I can't believe Mark Rivers is a pastor, amen. You know, he didn't fit in. You know, he didn't go to college. He didn't finish high school. I mean, the boy smoked dope all the time. You know, I don't understand, amen. God picks the ones of the world that the world says is no good. But every one of us has a weakness. And I had to come over my weakness. You that's in the program has to come over your weakness. You can't let your past dictate your future. Amen. If you don't deal with your weakness now, it will rob from you your destiny. Amen. David was anointed, but his family didn't know that. David was the illegitimate child, and he was the outcast of the family. When David was anointed, right there in that day in that house, how do you think those 7 other brothers felt? You want to talk about brought in some more division, jealousy, anger, malice, slander, gossip, backbiting. You want to talk about a dysfunctional family now. He thought it was dysfunctional before. Now he's done got anointed as king. Oh, it's done got worse now.
Yeah.
David was anointed, but his family didn't care.
That's right.
You may be like David. God may have gave you a talent, a dream, a concept that He wants you to flow in and develop in your life. But if you don't do something about your weakness will rob your dream from you. Amen? Look, David wasn't crowned king that day. He was anointed, but he wasn't crowned king.
Amen.
Although he was anointed, remember, do not give up. Your time will come when you step into your destiny at the right moment of time. Listen, David understood he just got anointed. He wasn't but 17 years old, man. He realized that God had just chosen him. But he wasn't crowned king right then. How do you think his brothers treated him after that day? Worse, man. David didn't give up, though. David kept doing what he was supposed to do. Amen. And we're gonna this is going somewhere. Just bear with me. All right, listen to me. You need to develop your strengths and conquer your weaknesses. Everybody say, develop my strengths, and conquer your weakness. David had a weakness for women. It was an unchecked weakness throughout his reign as king. Listen, David had an insecure problem. David tried to make his brothers think good of him. How do you, today's times, how would a young man say, what is a young man after? Let's just get real here. He said, if I get plenty of money and I get me a good looking woman, people will think I got it going on. Amen? Amen. I'll show them boys. Yeah. I'll get me a good looking wife and I'll get me a good paying job. And you want to prove that you're good, that you're good enough. See, it's an insecure problem. David had this. Listen, David got this from his father Jesse.
Yeah.
David was a womanizer.
Yeah.
Where's Brittany? Brittany Spears got a song, Womanizer. Amen?
Amen.
Jesse was a womanizer. Jesse brought David in this world by womanizing. He cheated on his first wife. Brought David in this world in sin. Now David, this weakness, this curse, this generational curse has went from Jesse and now it is placed upon David. Amen?
Amen.
How many families, y'all, do you think the mama and daddy got divorced? Has been through several divorces. And now the kids are divorced.
Yeah.
And the kids go through several divorces. Why? Generational curse. It's handed down. Somebody has to break it, or guess what? It goes to this one.
That's right.
And if this one don't break it, it goes to her baby. And it all started from Karen. All started from Karen's mama. Or Karen's daddy. Whoever. Listen, this is what happens to Jesse's life. To Jesse headed down to David. How many kids do you know the mama or the daddy was an alcoholic? Yeah. Now the kids are. Listen, I heard Caroline say something the other day in the back seat of your state, in the back seat. See, in her mind, and it's my fault, okay? It's my fault. Caroline, she's 20. Everybody says she's just 20. All right? Well, what's going on in the mind of a 20-year-old? All right? And I heard her say other words in her mama's car yesterday, and you know, I don't react to everything. If I react to everything, wouldn't nobody talk to me, amen? So I didn't say that, but she said, well, you know, you did it. You know, you did it, and you come out all right. You know? See, that she might look like her mama. But on the inside, you're looking at Mark. Has the perspective that Mark had. Well, I can, it's just, the only reason I'm standing here today is, y'all, because I have got to have a great purpose on my life right here today. It's only by grace and the favor of God that I'm here, y'all. I mean, I've been in situations with drugs and stuff, y'all, where my heart was just boom, 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 boom. I mean, my heart was just, I had no fluid left in my body. I mean, I'm going down the road and I'm looking, and I could before I got arrested, I could look at my chest, y'all. God is my witness. I could see my heart because I had no water content of my body left. I had smoked so much crack cocaine that all the fluid content was gone. How many of you know you get fever and you get dehydrated? I'm in that Toyota pickup, y'all. I looked down at my shirt and I could see my heart pumping out of my shirt right there. Wide open. Yeah. How my heart didn't stop, or how my heart didn't blow up, it's because God wouldn't let it, man. He said, no, I can't let that boy do that. I mean, I've been in situations, guns pointed to my head, bullets going over my head, and I've been in fights where I could have got stabbed or shot, I've been in such car wrecks and driving intoxicated, man, just out of control. It had to be God. Amen. But Caroline heard those words, well, you did it. So what is in her mind? See, this is Jesse and David. You see what I'm talking about? Yeah. See, I was a rebellious child. I did what I wanted to do. And it led me into a life. And I understand rebellion brings you nowhere. See, you can rebel against your parents and rebel against God. And you think it's not hurting you, but you don't understand. You're telling that devil, just have me. Amen. Devil, just take me. You're rebelling. And when you know what's right to do and you won't do it, that's rebellion. And what you're saying, devil, I give you the right. Amen. Just do with me as I please. Yeah. And see, I see people today that makes that vital mistake. Let me get back to this. Look at 1 Samuel chapter 17. David had a weakness for women, and it went unchecked through his reign as king. 1 Samuel chapter 17, starting in verse 25. And the men of Israel said, have ye seen this man that is come up, surely to defy Israel? He is come up, and shall be that the man who killeth him, look here, the king will enrich him with great riches, and will give him his daughter, and make his father's house free of Israel. Other words, everybody say this, tax free. Tax free. Now, how many of y'all men in here would love to be rich, have a good-looking woman, the king's daughter, and never have to pay taxes again? Amen. Huh? Amen. That got David's attention. You know why that got David's attention? Because he was the illegitimate child. He said, look what he says. Look in verse 26 now. And David spoke to the men that stood by him, saying, other words, let me say this. Now run that by me one more time. Let me make sure I heard right. What shall be done to the man that killeth this Philistine, and take away the reproach from Israel? Look what he says. For who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God?
Amen.
Right off the bat, David said he's 17 years old. How old is Cain? 18, 19? 19? Anybody in here 17? That boy back there is 17. You telling Colby Gate that he can be rich, have the king's daughter, and never have to pay taxes again. Tell me what Colby won't do. Amen?
Amen.
Right off the bat, David said, who shall defy the armies of who's this uncircumcised Philistine? In other words, I'm fixing to show y'all something.
Yes,
Amen?
Amen.
Why? Because he had something to prove.
Amen. Amen.
Listen to me, he had something to prove. He had a chip on his shoulder. His brothers were all around there. He's going to say, yeah, y'all might have left me out, but I'm going to show you something here now. I'm going to get me some money. I'm fixing to get a woman, and I ain't never paying taxes. I'm fixing to be somebody.
Amen.
Amen?
Amen.
The Bible says that David had beautiful eyes. Remember what David's problem was, his insecurity. He was a womanizer. He got this from Jesse because Jesse brought David in this world in a sinful manner. Amen? The Bible says that David had beautiful eyes. Everybody say this. He had Betty Davis eyes. Listen, men don't care. I ought not say this, but I'm going to say it. Men don't care if a woman's blind. Amen? They looking at other things. But a woman loves a man with beautiful eyes. Amen? That's how I got James. He's beautiful, brown, dark-looking eyes. Amen? Listen, y'all know I'm telling you. Women, y'all know y'all like a man with blue eyes. Or got them eyes. You got that look. Amen? But a man don't care if a woman's blind. He ain't worried about the eyes. Listen, there is a lesson behind all this. Alright? Listen to me, there is a lesson behind all this. David's stare was what got him in trouble. Because he had Betty Davis eyes. Alright? So say to yourself, what are you watching? What are you looking at?
Come on.
What's your focus on? There's a lesson behind all this, y'all. See, David had an insecure problem. David had a weakness. Women was part of his weakness. It come from Jesse, it come down to David, and what did David pass it on to? Solomon. But I'm going to show you other things that destroyed his whole family. Amen? Amen. Listen. Watch yourself. What are you gazing at? What are you looking at? Because David kept on watching Bathsheba.
Yeah.
Right.
David just didn't wake up one morning and say, I think I'm going to go kill Uriah. She's a pretty good looking woman. I think I'm going to go kill her. Kill him. I'm going to make her my wife. He just didn't wake up one morning and say, look, David, it all started with those Betty Davis eyes.
Yeah.
It all started with the look. And he couldn't get his eyes off from her. Until one day, they met at that devil's good, man. He got David on that roof, and one day, listen, that wasn't the first time David saw Bathsheba.
That's right.
They was neighbors.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, they seen each other all the time. That wasn't the first time. David saw Bathsheba all the time. But the devil got orchestrated with him because the devil knew David's weakness.
Yeah.
Amen?
Amen.
Then he put old Bathsheba out there and she decided she needed to take a bath.
Yeah.
Then David brought old David out there to go get him a little cool, fresh air. And then David just happened to look over. You can call it the wrong place at the wrong time, but I don't believe that. Amen? It was all orchestrated.
Yeah.
And somewhere, somehow, David and Bathsheba locked eyes together. Amen?
Amen.
David's stare is what got him in trouble. All right? Listen to this. If you let distraction go on too long, it becomes your main attraction. Steals your focus.
Yeah.
And without focus, you can't build your mental mind.
Amen.
Listen, whatever distracts you, if you don't get your eyes off what David should have did, but no, see, he had insecurities. He had a weakness that he never dealt with from his childhood. And his weakness was women. And instead of keep staring at her, David should have said, devil, in the name of Jesus, Lord have mercy, forgive me, God, most God. But no, he sit there. And he got distracted. And his distraction became his main attraction. And it stole his focus. And without his focus, you can't build your mental mind. Listen, David's weakness drove him to commit murder.
Yeah.
David didn't plan on murdering nobody. But his weakness that he had drove him to murder.
Yeah.
And that's found in 2 Samuel 11 and 17. Listen, David didn't wake up one day and say, I think I killed Uriah today. His wife looks pretty good. No, it started small. It started with a look. He couldn't get his eyes off from her. And everything in your life starts small. Even the sin starts small in your life. Amen? Amen. But when you give your weakness, your sin, an inch in your life, it'll take a mile from you. Listen, everybody knows the story. I ain't got time to get into the story. David and Bathsheba sinned. She committed adultery. David committed adultery. Then David committed murder. All right? How did David come into this world? Through sin, through adultery. He was the illegitimate child. So how it just affected his life. Now David's done got into not only adultery, but now he's done got into murder. He's the king. He's anointed. God even said he's got my own heart.
Yeah.
But he had a weakness. God said this guy is after my own heart. But he was a murderer. It started with a stare. He had a weakness for women. And it robbed him of his greatest desire. Listen, it broke David's heart when God told him, you can't build the temple.
Yeah.
That's what he wanted to do. He wanted to have it all established and then hand it over to Solomon. And God said, no, you can't build it. And why couldn't David build it? Because it was the consequences of his murder.
That's right.
He murdered an innocent person.
Yeah.
It robbed him of his destiny. He was forgiven, yes. The Bible says that David was repentful for everything. He repented for all his sins. Every day of his life, David cried out. God says, man, this boy has a heart for me. But your sin, your weakness still has consequences.
Yeah.
And he couldn't fulfill his greatest desire. Was David repentful? Yes. But that didn't mean, and that don't mean for your life, that there's not consequences. Listen to me. David reaped what David sowed.
Yeah.
You better listen to me. Everything, the first principle in the kingdom of heaven, God's ways of doing things, the kingdom of God is sowing and reaping. Jesus said that. For whatsoever Karen sows in her life, that's what she also shall reap. Listen to me. David committed adultery and murder. He sowed adultery. He sowed murder. And God says, David, if that's what you sowed, that's what you're going to reap. Even though he repented. How many of y'all, you repented, you come in here, but you're still paying the price. You're forgiven by God. It's been forgiven. It's been washed away. But you're still paying the consequences. Huh? Amen?
Amen.
David sowed what he reaped. Number one, just let me go through this. I'm actually getting through pretty early. The baby that was conceived between David and Bathsheba out of lust, that's all it was lust, got sick and died.
Yes. That's right.
That was number one. Number two, one of his sons raped one of his daughters.
That's right.
Lust. Number three, one of the other sons, let me go back to number two. One of David's sons raped one of his own daughters out of lust.
Yep. Yeah.
Started with Jesse, come to David, passed down to his family. Back in these times, if a virgin was raped, if that person didn't get married, no other man would have never married her. David did nothing about this. He forgave his son. The daughter's life, her whole future was robbed from her because of a brother's lust problem that was handed down from David that come from Jesse.
Right.
Had a weakness in the family, had a weakness in his life. One of the other sons got mad at David because he did nothing to the other brother, so the other brother got mad and killed the rapist brother.
Yeah.
Third thing that's happened to David. First, his baby died. Second, his daughter got raped by the brother. Third thing, the other brother got mad and killed the rapist brother. Fourth thing, this son eventually turned on his father, Absalom,
Yep. Right.
David, and split the kingdom.
Yeah.
Right.
They ended up going to war with each other, and 20,000 innocent people died.
Amen. Yep.
And it broke David's heart. Do you see what David's weakness done to his family?
Yep.
Listen to me. David come from a dysfunctional family, and David had a dysfunctional family.
That's right.
David come from a dysfunctional family, and David had a dysfunctional family. And in 1 Chronicles chapter 28, and I'm closing. 1 Chronicles chapter 28. Starting in verse 11. Then David gave to Solomon his son the pattern of the porch, and the houses thereof, and of the treasures thereof, and the upper chambers thereof, and of the inner parlors thereof, and of the place of the mercy seat. Verse 12. We're going to go to 19. And the pattern of all that he had by the Spirit of the courts of the house of the Lord, and of all the chambers round about, and of all the treasures of the house of God, and the treasures of the dedicated things. Verse 13. Also for the course of the priests and the Levites, and for all the work of the service of the house of the Lord, and for all the vessels of service in the house of the Lord. He gave of gold by weight for things of gold, for instruments of all matter of service, silver also for all instruments of silver by weight, and for all the instructions of every kind of service. 15. Even the weight for the candlesticks of gold, and for their lamps of gold, by weight for every candlestick, and for the lamps thereof, and for the candlesticks of silver by weight, both for the candlestick and also for the lamps thereof, according to the use of every candlestick. Notice what it says, according to the use of every candlestick. David had everything in order in his heart. Everything to the candlestick.
Yeah.
And by weight he had gold for the tables of shewbread, and for every table, and likewise silver for the tables of silver. David even had the maps of the tables and how to dress the furniture, and everything to the point. David had it in his heart. Verse 17, also pure gold for the flesh hooks, and for the bowls, and for the cups, and for the golden basins, He gave gold by weight for every basin, and likewise silver by weight for every basin of silver. Verse 18. And for the altar of incense, refined gold by the weight, and gold for the pattern of the chariot of the cherubims, to spread out their wings and cover the ark of the covenant of the Lord. All this said David. Everybody say, all this said David. The Lord made me understand in writing by his hand upon